So I want to talk about ketosis, why fasting puts us in that state. Now, some of you guys might have heard of the keto diet. And the reason why that's become a really big thing is because it does put people in a ketosis state where they're switching basically, because our body will first always use the glycogen storage. It'll use sugar for fuel. It's very quick, easy to use, quick energy. And before it actually will move over to our fat cells, it has to first deplete that. Just like I was talking about the fridge and the freezer analogy. So when it comes to ketosis, there's a couple organs that are very vital. Of course, the liver and the pancreas. So the pancreas produces quite a different hormones. And weight loss has a lot to do with hormones. Whereas everybody makes it sound like it has to do with calories. Calories in, calories out, move more, get more exercise. And usually they'll blame you like, oh, you're just eating too much, or you're not exercising enough. Well, it really comes down to a lot to the hormone issue, and that has to do a lot with insulin and glucagon. Those are two opposites, whereas the pancreas produces. Now, insulin is when our blood sugars are high, our insulin levels go up, and then when our blood sugars are low, glucagon goes up. And glucagon is what breaks down our fat cells, because that's when we need more energy. Insulin is what stores the fat cells. So when we have all that excess amount of blood sugar, that's where our insulin kicks in. But when you're in a fasted state, when you go in a fast state, I would say it really depends on each person as far as how much glycogen storage you have. But anywhere you hit from between 16, sometimes 24, 48 hours, some people it takes up to 72 hours, or at least consistent doing some intermittent fasting before you actually get into ketosis. But for a lot of people, it can be between 16 to 24 hours. And what happens is once it's depleting the glycogen storage, just like I said about the fridge and the freezer analogy, once it's depleted that, then it starts breaking down the fat cells. It starts breaking the fat cells because the body needs energy. And fat is actually a much better source of fuel than sugar. And so it starts breaking down. The glucagon levels go up, starts breaking the fat cells, break it down to fatty acids. The fatty acids then get converted to ketones. And then that's what we call as ketogenesis. It's basically generating ketones. And then the increased ketone production that go into our bloodstream, and then we utilize it. Our brain utilizes it, a lot of our organs. So it's a very efficient fuel to use for the body, more so than I would say than really sugar and a lot of the carbs that we use. So that, as far as, with the ketosis, that's a way that we need to understand when it comes to losing weight. That's the state that we want to be in to be able to lose those fat cells versus just losing, water weight and other things that, we get when we're doing those kind of different fat diets out there.